I recreated 99 Days in the Forest enemies through only their descriptions. Some of these designs came out looking insanely strange. In this video I will be recreating the deer, one of the cultists, and the owl. Then I'll compare them to their actual designs. Now a real quick disclaimer, I'm not a super artist. This stuff won't come out perfect, and midway through my drawings there are some things I will completely change, whether it's due to proportion disbalance, or just because it looks grainy. I'm just making this for fun to see how accurate I can get my own depictions to be into the game. With that out of the way, let's begin. A beast of the woods in the form of a deer. Bipedal it stands as it grows ever near. An unhinged jaw and two bloody claws, it murders all who come near. Its lifeless eyes glow brighter than the moon, but following their light will lead to your doom. With this description, rewrite with your vision how the beast of the woods appears. I started off the drawing by just simply creating the head. I tried to make its jaw a bit more expanded than I would typically for a creature in order to match that unhinged jaw description, and I created a very wide eye which I could later use to fill in a glowing effect. The horns that appear here I ended up changing later because they seem way too small and way too bent. However, for at the moment, these are just temporary placeholders. Now, at the time, I didn't know that he didn't have teeth, so I figured I would give him a humanoid set of jaws. After a bit of coloring, shading in, and adding the glowing effect to the eye, I was pretty much done with the head segment. The deer's body was a bit more complicated. I had to kind of build my way around the head while layering it, which kind of created a few rendering issues, which was already a bit difficult in and of itself. However, I was able to easily fix that through a bit of shading over. I wanted to make the deer look starved, so I tried giving it a more humanoid body initially. However, I had to change the proportions a few times. I figured I'd shade it in sooner this time, that way I'd be able to get a general idea of the color palette I wanted its entire body to have. Now, I tried to make the claws as threatening as possible, considering how the description seemed to have implied that they were used as a primary weapon. And here we have it. This is my version of the deer from 99 Nights in the Forest. I tried to add a lot of detail in the head area, but without further ado, now I guess it's time to compare the two. The two designs, upon looking at them, are actually pretty different. For instance, the deer has wide pupils in its eyes, whereas my deer version did not. I got the idea that it has hooves rather than just clawed feet correct, though. The original deer does not in fact have teeth, and its horns are actually black colored. Also, I didn't add ears to my deer for some reason. I only just recently realized that I forgot those. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with how it came out, even though it's not quite accurate. I'd give it probably like 4 oofs out of 10 for accuracy. Something evil approaches your campfire. A mysterious group armed with spears and crossbows. These cultists show mercy to none. The cultists display different colors of clothing to distinguish the roles in the group. The marksmen in capes of red and the spearmen in capes of gray. Each of them appear to be noobs masked with sloped deer skulls. They and the deer cooperate to hunt you down. I decided it'd be the best choice to go with the crossbow cultist because I decided I would only be doing one. I also really like the concept of a killer in the woods who just hunts you down with the crossbow rather than one that is just a classic slasher with an axe or spear. Now, because I'm not very good at drawing skulls or crossbows, I decided that I would just pre-make those before I started the video. With those ahead, I just had to create pretty much the body, the shading, the horns, etc. And here we have him. We have the crossbow cultist. I tried to emphasize the antlers a bit more by making them longer than his arms to kind of make him look a bit more menacing, especially under certain different types of lighting. The crossbow was a pain to work on. I had to even use like 7 reference images consecutively. But overall, I really like how it came out. So, there are a few inaccuracies, for instance the horn color, but also apparently the deer mask looks a lot like a bird mask. It looks nothing like a deer in the actual game, which it makes no sense, but okay, it's fine. I kind of just went with the idea that it's just a normal noob with a red shirt rather than a noob wearing like a red like cloak like vest thing. So I kind of messed up on that. I also messed up on the pants color. But overall, I got it a lot more accurate than I thought I would have. I also just realized that they have really funny looking, like, just normal, like, noob smile faces. Like, if you just picture it without the mask, it does not look menacing. It just looks goofy. Like, it looks like a Lego guy. Overall, I'd give this probably, actually, about 8 oofs out of 10. The only other creature that the deer fears, the owl hunts its prey solely based off of movement. It's a deformed snow owl with hollow eyes and a forced grin. They tower over the trees, chasing prey on foot if necessary. Its arms are separated from its wings more like a butterfly, and it always sees its prey before the prey sees it. So, despite this description, my stupid brain decided to add those ear-like thingies that some owls have. So, yeah, sorry about that. I decided to, in order to make it look like he was smiling, extend the gum outward. That way his beak wasn't in, like, a cartoony looking, like, grin formation, because that's just not how beaks work. I tried to create, given the stature that was described, 4 arms. What? 2 arms that are primarily used for, like, grabbing things, and then his legs, which are used for running. I tried to give him more of a lanky build. I feel like I probably should have put a bit more effort into the wings than I did, but overall, they don't look too bad. After I was done with everything else, I just had to shade, and I was pretty much ready. It was by far probably the easiest one for me to draw. So this is my version of the owl. It definitely looks, as you will see in a moment, very, very different from the actual owl in the game. But overall, I kind of like it. Oh boy, are there a lot of things that I messed up here. To make this shorter, the owl in the game actually has a mouth. His eyes aren't fully hollow, they're like the deer, but he has bigger pupils. The beak is way too big in my version. The wings are completely different in my version. I got the wrong colors for the arms and legs. I added those ear thingies, which, he doesn't have because he's a snow owl. I probably should recognize that. I don't have any of the snow owl related patterns. His posture is completely wrong. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I messed up on for this. But at the same time, that's not exactly a bad thing either. I still really like how it came out. Anyways, I'd probably give this about 2 out of 10. But yeah, that was about it. My most accurate character is probably the cultist. My least accurate character is probably the owl. Yet the easiest character to create is probably the owl, and the hardest character to create was probably the cultist. The deer was alright, he wasn't too bad. This is the shading frame was a bit complicated. But overall, I really like how these designs came out. Feel free to share your thoughts on how you think they should look in the comments down below. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.